Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and we finally got temperatures up almost to freezing. We have a high temperature of 30 degrees today, so it's finally warm enough to get out here and try to get some real work done. So I've got a tree down back behind the house, actually over by where we were grinding out stumps a couple videos back, and this is a big tree that's up on the hill where it's really rocky. And I have no idea how long it's been down. I didn't go look at it that close, but I need to get that tree dealt with. So what I'm hoping for is that I'm able to go up on the hill with the grapple, lift it up, cut it into manageable sections, carry those down here, split them up for firewood, and start rebuilding our firewood inventory because we've sold everything but about a rick and a half of it. So that's what I'm hoping for. The other possibility is I get up there and start cutting through it and it's rotten all the way through, and I have to bring it down here to the brush pile. A while back I dug a massive hole back here. It actually started trying to dig out a stump and ended up being an all-day job, and the hole's 6 foot deep and 12 foot across. And so I'm going to use that hole to get rid of the sawdust from our workshop, the ash from where we burn our wood scraps, and then we're going to burn our brush piles in it. So we'll find out when we get out there whether that's usable wood or just junk. But either way, I need to get it cut up and brought down here. In the past, I've been pulling logs out with a chain and just skidding them along the ground. But we've had all this snow and rain, and it's going to be a sloppy mess. So I definitely don't want to try to drag that, and I'd have to cross the yard whichever way I went with it. So I definitely don't want to drag it. So I'm going to go up and put the other saw into my chainsaw holder on the back of the tractor, and we'll get to work on that log. All right, well, things don't always go exactly the way you planned, and this is one of those cases. I don't know if you can see how steep the hill is right here, but it's pretty steep, and the log I'm trying to get is over here, and it's really a good sized log, and I need to get about not quite halfway down it and lift so I can chop the end off. But when I try to maneuver the tractor up there, it wants to slide down when I'm pulling forward. Of course, the snow and ice isn't helping that part any. But basically, I'm not able to get where I want to and feel stable and safe about it. So what I want to try to do now is get some chains, hook around the tree right there, and drag it down to more of a flat area. and see if I can get it cut up from there. So I've skidded out several logs about this size and never had problems like this, but I guess I just didn't account for the fact that I can't get any traction on this snow. Probably should have seen that coming, but it wouldn't even budge that log. I thought the fact that we were downhill would help, but that thing's probably wedged in there pretty hard. I think I've got one more plan of attack on this log, which is to come from the other side and get under it and start chunking it up that way. If that doesn't work, there's another one further up the hill that already has the top cut off of it, so it's just a big log. And if the third attempt on this doesn't get it, then we'll try that. So there was already a little bit of a gap under one section of the log that I could see from this side, so I thought all I needed to do was wedge the grapple under it. But as soon as I got the grapple under it to lift, I could see a split a little further up the log, and I ended up being able to just break it at that split, probably damaged from when it fell, and that really made it a lot easier to at least get the one section out today. All right, so at the end, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this overall project and whether this wood's gonna be useful. I kind of suspect it's gonna be like what I pulled out a lot so far out of this timber, is that right here, this is all rotted. When you cut it in half, the center of it will still be good. So that's not something you'd want to sell to a customer, but I think probably 2/3 of this wood will end up getting burned here at our house, in the fire pit, or when we're doing something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice the end off of this and see what we've got. So hopefully you're able to see that all right. The whole outside of this looks dead and rotten, but I can't justify throwing it away. I think that'll burn just fine. If I split it up, you'll have a little bit of over-seasoned or rotted wood on the outside, but it's not gonna keep my fire pit from burning, or I'll even burn it myself. So that log out there had been driving me crazy since a few weeks ago. We were back there grinding stumps, and I saw how many trees were just laying out there down, that no matter what else I do, even if I just throw this into a brush pile and let the whole thing burn at once, it's just driving me crazy having it all laying up there. So I'm gonna get as much of it as I can out. I definitely learned a couple things. I definitely gained appreciation for trying to drive a tractor on a hillside in snow. There were a couple of moments where I felt pretty unstable, and so I'll factor that in next time. The way to do that project was pretty obvious. You want to back over it with a brush hog, get all that thorn bushes and everything cut down, and you want to do it when it's dry, and then you're going to have a lot better luck. It's going to go a lot smoother. So anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. In a minute, you'll see links right here for a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.